Connection all right? You can hear me in that, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you really good now. You can hear me too, yeah?
Yeah, got you, bro. Got you.
Great. So how are things going, man? You know, the past couple of months with everything, you know, been spending more time with family. Does it feel a bit different for you with the change of pace?
Yeah, obviously it's different, just different times. You know, we've never been through anything like this before. So being at home and, you know, being restricted in terms of, you know, where you can go and what you can do and stuff, obviously has been very different. But like, you know, just spending time with the family. They've still had schoolwork, so I've been obviously homeschooling them, helping them with that, and then just working on my fitness program, which, you know, the club had given me. And, you know, that was my main focus.
Yeah. And the barber shops haven't opened as yet for you, has it?
No, they haven't. Hence the little mad hair that's going on at the moment. But yeah, no, I'm just letting it grow for now and then concentrating on other things and that, you know. So as soon as they're open, I'll be getting a haircut. I know that.
Yeah. How are you though physically? Did you feel any difference before the virus and now after? Do you feel different body-wise, health-wise?
No, you know, I felt great the whole time, to be honest with you. I was doing, you know, my fitness regime and improving all the time. I felt strong. I felt good. So obviously, when I got, you know, tested positive for the virus, it was a massive shock to me. You know, it was a massive shock because, you know, like I said, I've been really, you know, doing a lot of running, a lot of cycling, and a lot of gym work to make sure I was staying as fit as possible for when we did come back to training.
And I suppose a message to, you know, Jamaican footballers and footballers everywhere, just one day at a time, and, you know, just we'll ride this one out. It's just about being patient and, you know, keep the faith up, and, you know, this too shall pass. Would you say that's like the message to give to other footballers?
Yeah, I think all you can do is take it one day at a time, you know. And you know, I've got to say thank you for all the love and the messages that I received. Obviously, when I tested positive, I tried to reassure as many people as I could that, you know, I felt fine and felt in good health. But yeah, I think, you know, with anything like this, you know, times, none of us have ever experienced this before. So all you can do is take it one day at a time and try and affect, you know, the things you can affect that are in your control and be as positive as you can.
What has training been like at Watford? You know, the routine. Have you been back in big groups as yet, or is it like groups of 10 and 5 and so on? How's training been like?
It started off, you know, really small groups. I obviously missed the first week when it was, you know, even smaller groups, more socially distanced, and now, you know, we're allowed to do contact training. But there are still, you know, a lot of measures around the place. There's still, you know, one-way systems when you're coming in and out of the training ground, and testing twice a week. Still all the washing your hands and, you know, sanitizer gel, etc. everywhere, and, you know, still have to socially distance when you're in, you know, in and around each other. But, you know, then you go on a pitch and and you know, and you're doing contact. So you know, some of the stuff can be quite confusing at times, but like I said, we're just taking it one day at a time. And the club have been brilliant. You know, it's been, you know, they've made it as safe an environment as possible. And, you know, I can only speak for myself, but I feel very comfortable at the training ground. I feel safe. So obviously, when you're in that environment, you know, you're happy to play football and do what you love.
Yeah, and you're looking forward to the return on June 17. You know, Watford just outside of the bottom three, but you're confident in the squad that they can, you know, get over the line and stay in the league, the Premier League?
I've always been confident, even when, you know, we were bottom of the league and hadn't won a game. I had the utmost faith in the team that we have. You know, we've done well in previous years with the same players here. And, you know, sometimes you go through tough periods and it's about the character in the group, and that's something I've never doubted. And, you know, sometimes it's just good just to not listen to the outside noise and just believe in, you know, what you have within the dressing room and each other. And that's the reason why we've, you know, managed to get ourselves in a position where we've got a good chance of staying up. We have 9 cup finals left now. And it's just about you know, taking each game as it comes and, you know, trying to get as many points on the board.
Yeah. And during this time, have you been keeping in touch with the other Jamaican lads around the Championship and the Premier League? McClary, West Morgan, have you been keeping in touch with those guys and see how they're doing? You did a live with Chris Humphrey as well. You know, have you been keeping in touch with them and see how they're doing as well?
Yeah, and listen, all of the boys touched base with me when they heard my result as well. Not just the boys that are here in England as well. So yeah, we've had contacts. All the boys together, and that's good. When we're away from each other for long periods, you need to still reach out to each other, make sure you're all right, and keep those bonds strong for when we do meet up again.
Yeah. And as you expect, it's going to be a hectic, busy period of time, not only club-wise, but international as well, World Cup qualifiers. You think you're ready for the busy, months that you have ahead? Club football, international, the traveling. You think mentally you're prepared for what is to come ahead?
Yeah, I always like to think, I try and prepare physically as well as I can, and that gives you strength, mentally. And I always, look forward to things and try not to take everything for granted, and that's, one of the strengths that I have. So, I'm looking forward to getting back on the international scene and picking up where we left off, because I thought we had a really good, few games, back in the 2019. So, even when we get to resume these games, when everything is safe, and because obviously health is the most important thing at the moment. But I'm definitely eager to get back and playing the sport that I love.
Yeah, when you made your debut, you were just 25. Now, 8 years on, do you feel like a big brother to most of the lads, especially the island boys that are trying to get into Europe and play overseas?
Yeah, I still feel I'm 25 now. That's the thing. So, but I'm not, I know they all look at me like the old man in the group, even though Paca's older than me. But yeah, look, I always try and help. Any of the younger players anyway, if I can. Any advice I can give them, but more importantly, just the way you conduct yourself every day, and more importantly, just to show them, I suppose, and lead by example. And there's some great talent within the squad, and I firmly believe we've got all the tools to make it to the next World Cup. And that's what my focus has been on, and it's something that I'm desperate to achieve, and everyone in the squad is, and that's a good ambitions and a good focus to have.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, you made a change to your diet and went vegan. Has that affected your performances on the pitch? Have you seen changes in your body? Do you feel better individually, less tired? How has that changed you as a professional?
Yeah, it's 3 years now since I've been vegan, and I've only got positive things to say about the change. I don't need to go back to eat meat, and I wouldn't. Now it's it wouldn't sit right with me morally either now. But definitely from a physical and an athletic point of view, I had the arguments with nutritionists, etc., who told me no athlete, no professional athlete should be vegan, and this is a fad diet, which they say, or it won't last, etc. But for me, there's only been positive effects from it. I feel like I recover quicker, and yes, it's something that I've stuck to. I take it very seriously, I do all the research I need to, and at times you have to learn as you go as well. But it's put me in a good place physically for the age I'm in.
And have you put like timeline on yourself if you want to say, I want to play another 5 years in the sport, another 6 years, or it's just the next game for you? You just take it as is,
I want to play as long as I can. As long as I can. I know, obviously, there will come a day when I can't play anymore. But while I'm fit and healthy and still able to play, at a good level as well, I'll keep playing, and especially while I'm still enjoying it. The day may come where I'm not enjoying it anymore, and that might be the day. But for now, I'm still loving it. I'm in good health, and so long may it continue.
Yeah. A story that inspired me about you was that time in the Watford Academy where you didn't get the scholarship, but you worked hard, you grafted, and you saw the benefits that came after that. So would the message be to players, don't put limits on yourself? People saying, oh, you're this height for a centre half, you can't do this and that. It's about, persevering and, the rewards would come. Would you say that's the message for all the players?
100%. I think, everyone will, people will make excuses for you, and, my height was one of the things that other people made as an excuse for me, to not make it as a footballer and not be able to play centre half. But I never made that excuse for myself. I worked hard at being able to find new ways of playing at centre half. I had to develop my jump and be agile to work around, big centre halves and big centre forwards. And, I think you can adopt that in any position, and end of the day, football is about opinions. So, everyone, and there's so many different opinions in football. One opinion, someone may like you, but the next manager may. So, end of the day, all you have to do is concentrate on yourself. Like I said, don't make excuses for yourself. Do everything that you can, control all the little 1%, and they all add up.
Yeah. Okay. Have you had this time you've been able to reflect on what you've accomplished so far? Playing in Premier League, playing in FA Cup finals, representing Jamaica in major tournaments, beating the America, playing Mexico in Mexico. Have you been able to reflect on what you've accomplished so far, or you save that for down the road when you finish playing and being able to say, wow, I did this and that?
Yeah, I try not to look back too much. I try not to let it distract me. Obviously, I take, there's a lot of positive memories I have, and, great memories of stuff I've been through in my career. And there's a lot of, lows as well. And, I try to learn from those just as much as the wins and the positive stuff. So, but for me, it's all about, moving forward. What's the next step? And, concentrating on the next game, because, once a game's done, that's done with. Like I said, learn the lessons from it and then try and take those lessons into the next week.
Yeah, I'm just curious, from your perspective, if there's, from the Reggae Boyz perspective, if there's one match or one tournament that you cherish the most. Was it the Gold Cup 2015? Was it beating the Americans, going to Mexico and drawing? Is there a moment that stands out to you so far? Yeah,
I would have to say the Gold Cup 2015. I have to say that, just because we was written off by everyone. Even, the TV stations in Jamaica didn't pay for the TV rights, so the games weren't even on TV in Jamaica. And that's, we felt like everyone had given up on us. You could hear, before the group stages, they were talking about Canada and El Salvador and just saying, or like Costa Rica, and pretty much saying we wouldn't get a point. And then, we get through the group stage, and despite having played so well, they thought we got at every round. The level of disrespect I thought that we encountered before that semi-final game against USA was, it was something else. We could feel it the whole tournament. It felt like the whole tournament was against us. They wanted us to go out. They wanted USA, Mexico in the final. You could feel that is what, the powers that be wanted. And you felt like the referees were trying to make that happen. Remember the El Salvador game, we had 2 players sent off for nothing. And to overcome all of that and make it to the final was, it was against all the odds. It was against all the odds. And we had to really come together as a group of people and players. And we did. And it's something that has, really stuck with me ever since.
Yeah, unprecedented moment. How far is the Chile game and the Mexico game behind that Gold Cup run? Very close?
It's hard to say. Yeah, individual. Those are massive games. Beating the States at the office, that was something else. That's something that's lived on in my memory for a long time. I still got the team picture on my screensaver on my computer to this day. And so yeah, there's been some great games I've been fortunate enough to be involved in and to have played in, and I don't take any of that for granted. That's why I always still come now, when I'm called up, and try and give my best for the team and for the country, because like I said, I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have.
You did a Insta Live recently with one of the lads that played with Montserrat, and he was asking you, you know, the goal one day with coaching, and you were saying the Reggae Boyz. So you could say you, Joby, one day teaming up and coaching Jamaica. Is that the long-term goal of yours?
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I'd love to end up coaching, you know, Jamaica one day. It's a dream and an aspiration of mine. I know it's a lot of hard work we'll have to go into achieving that and to finally get in there. But you know, when I do decide to hang up the boots, but I think it's good to, you know, to have those dreams. You know, and that's something that is, like I said, a big aspiration of mine, and you know, something I'll be fully focused on achieving when I do retire.
And no regrets at all representing Jamaica. Of course, you were called up by Fiji before, but you chose Jamaica, so no regrets. You've had wonderful memories.
No regrets at all. You know, I've had, like I said, some of the memories I've had and the games I've been fortunate to play in. And like I said, we've had some tough times as well, and you know, that only builds your character as well. You know, and how we've come back from that as well, and you know, bounce back, and you know, to be in the position we are now is something, you know, I'm proud to be a part of that, and you know, to look back and say, you know, this is, you know, what I achieved, and you know, for Jamaica.
Appreciate your time, boss. I really do. You know, there's a lot of things you could be doing, but you know, to see you and chat face to face, you know, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Simon. Thank you,
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. Continue to stay safe, you and the family. And as usual, we'll be in touch, you know?
Yeah, you too, bro. You too, man. Good to chat.
Oh, absolutely, as always, man. Have a good day, and yeah, we'll talk.
Oh, we can.
All right, man. Take care.